Hello, Captains. Well, this is going to be the shortest news update in Star Trek Online ever, because there is just about one new news posting to talk about. Yeah, I wanted to record a news update video for you all in Star Trek Online, but unfortunately, Cryptic has no new news or anything worth talking about, to be honest, since Christmas. So if you look back, like in the beginning of December here and up, pretty much everything is just a special event weekend that they talked about. We've already talked about all these things in the past. There was the Tholian Red Alert weekend, December 12th. There was this new Mirror Ingle carrier, which we talked about. There's the bonus Marks weekend. All that was back in December 12th, well before Christmas. Then December 13th was a key sale, but that's over now. The Alachi Red Alert, but that's over now. That was, just a weekend event. Zen Charge bonus, that's over now. 20% ship sale, that ended on December 27th. The Phoenix Prize Pack, that also ended on December 27th. A double XP weekend, that has come and gone. The Zenkethi Red Alert, that's over. 20% services, costumes, and stuff like that. I think that's over now. 30% off everything on all platforms. Let's see if any of these. This was January 1st. So it says, Happy New Year. In honor of the Alliance, the entire known galaxy is celebrating this day of renewal. We're pleased to announce that today, January 1st, all items in the C-store will be 30% off. So yeah, that's over. That was just January 1st, so forget that. That's no longer. The 20% services thing was also just January 1st, so that's over. So nothing new there. Research and development rewards. That is going on not now, because that just ended. So that was until Monday, January 7th. So that's over now as well. And so here we are, technically the first full week of January, and there's only one new news item to talk about in Star Trek Online starting off this year, and that is an update to the Crystalline Catastrophe TFO. So it is now called a TFO, not an STF anymore. But the Crystalline Catastrophe is something that many people love playing. It rewards fleet marks or Nukara marks, and it is a 10-person TFO. And it seems like they have made changes to the TFO based on the event, the Crystalline Cataclysm event changes. So here's what it says. The crystalline entity is back and stronger than ever. After the success of the updated Crystalline Cataclysm event last year, we are bringing back those changes to the regular Crystalline Catastrophe TFO. The Crystalline Catastrophe TFO has undergone some improvements. Our goal was to provide a deeper experience when taking on the enemy. The mechanics in place had the potential to do this, but weren't able to shine. Here are the following changes. There is now a 30-second mission briefing time before the queue begins. This allows players time to join the queue and read the briefing if necessary. The entity shards that it deploys are now immune to control effects. This allows the feature more room to breathe as the queue progresses. If you say so, I guess. I don't know. Small shards will no longer buff the enemy's damage for the entire queue. Instead, they will give the entity buff stacks towards a more powerful energy release after its absorption phase. This change results in a potentially stronger energy release attack. In response to that, we've added a growing area of effect indicator to show the area of the energy release and how long it will be before it goes off. The entity beam attacks no longer apply a flight speed debuff. Instead, large shards on advanced difficulties will apply a flight speed debuff if they are able to explode on a player. The entity is now entirely immune to damage while in its absorption phase. We wanted this phase to be about avoiding the energy release and preventing the shards from buffing the attack. The entity absorption phase is now 15 seconds long rather than 30. This was the case on advanced versions of the queue, but is now in parity with normal. Once the entity has been destroyed, it will explode into many small salvageable crystal fragments. These fragments can be destroyed to gain 1 to 5 salvage from each of them. We hope you enjoy this refreshed crystalline catastrophe. And so that's the biggest news we have here this week. And I do have to say, I have played this. I played this last night, and it is more difficult. It is definitely more difficult. I don't know if it was just the team I was in. It could have been a very weak team, but pretty much everybody was dying a lot. And not just that, but when you would respawn with all the shards in the respawn area. And what that caused is immediately as you respawned, you would start being under attack from the shards of the crystalline entity. So the crystalline entity was like way far away outside of firing range, but all the shards that have come off of it were in the respawn area of the ships, and as soon as you respawned, you would die. And it was very hard to maneuver out of that just to get a shot on the crystalline entity. And thankfully, I had a cloaking device, and so it was easier for me. I was able to immediately hit the cloaking device when I respawned, and then I could fly to the crystalline entity without much interference. But if you didn't have that, you would be constantly under attack on the way to the crystalline entity. You might not even make it there and die in the process. So you need fast engines to get there. And then once you fire on it, of course, it would kill you pretty quickly anyway. It took the longest time it has ever taken in a very long time to do the crystalline catastrophe. It was a very lengthy process. It reminds me of the old way that the crystalline catastrophe used to be years and years and years ago. It used to be an extremely tough STF, and you had to have coordination with your team. You had to do certain things and not do certain things, and it took a while to wear it down in the past. It's not as bad as that was, but it is still more difficult now than it used to be, and I played it on the advanced difficulty. So just a little warning out there, if you're going to jump in on the crystalline catastrophe entity thing, you're going to have a different experience now than you had before. It might be a little tougher for you, and hopefully you'll get with some good teams, because we'll just have to adjust to those changes and see how it turns out. But let me know in the comments of you playing it, how it goes for you. I might have just had a bad experience with a bad team. You never know. But I will definitely be playing it more to get a better feel for it. I enjoyed it because it was something quick. You could just go in and play and get some fleet marks and new car marks. But they seem to have made it just a little more difficult now, so it's not so easy, not so quick in and out anymore. So there you go. That's pretty much the biggest news right here on the first week of the year, the first full week of the year. As new news comes out in Star Trek Online, I will let you know. I plan to probably do news updates in Star Trek Online moving forward every 2 weeks. I think that's a pretty good frequency of news updates. Every 2 weeks, we'll do a news update. So this one is a bit of a one-off here, just to reintroduce everybody to the fact that I will be doing news updates in Star Trek Online on the webpage here, as you see, just like this. But in the future, moving forward, I will probably now let 2 weeks go by before I do a news update, because otherwise there's just sometimes not a lot of news to talk about. It's just pretty much, a sale here and a sale there, or a special event weekend. So I'm going to let 2 weeks go by between each news update. How does that sound? I think that should be pretty good. So there you go. This is just to let you know that is coming back. New news updates. Crystalline Entity, a little more difficult now, so go in and try it out and see what happens. Well, that's what we got right now. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Check out my new updated Patreon page. You can subscribe to Patreon to support this channel. I now have Patreon-only Discord access. It's a way to chat with others and myself about any topic.